Hello, hi, and welcome to another edition of Executives Corner. This time with a special topic about sales. But I do know that even though if you are on a leadership position or executive position or a top management, sales always plays the key role. Not only a key role, but as well a crucial role in the development of your company, development of your people, but as well supported by the strategy which you set. And due to that, today we will discuss with my dear guest and also a dear colleague, not only challenges, but as well opportunities in sales. And we will discuss how change did change in past 2 to 3 years and how actually it didn't. And why is it so relevant to discuss the topic that sales changed, but actually it didn't? More about this and more about the insights about working with variety of clients in the region, I will discuss with Irena Grofelnik. So I would love to say hello to Irena, who is not only my dear colleague, but as well a good friend. We chatted a few times already. So hello, Irena, really warmly welcome.
Thank you, Simona. Thank you for having me here. Hi.
Hello. Yes, Irena. So even though that we are both Slovene, I just said before we entered the studio, we met on the American networking platform. So amazingly. And I just remember that as soon as we booked that date for a call, you were like that enthusiastic person saying, you know what, I love meet everybody, whomever I met on that platform was valuable, wonderful, but as well a great contact. So what is it about the networking which adds not only to your business, but as well to your personality?
Yeah, sales is all about networking. So I really am a salesperson by heart. You mentioned at the beginning that the sales is the key role. If you would ask someone in a production or VIP of marketing or VIP of finance, he would say, no, I'm the most important person in the company. But if you are selling, I don't know, products, services, whatever you're selling, it's a revenue generator. So you really have to take care of sales first, and after that, also manage all other functions. And there is always a battle between sales and production, or sales and other divisions in the company. So yeah.
Yeah, great. I know, Irena, that you're not only about sales and that your profile goes far, far back with the experience working with different markets here in the Adriatic region, variety of clients. But I as well know that you studied economy, that you've done your Executive's MBA, and that above all, that you are in love in sales, but you as well love the tools of profiling, of not only identifying the potentials of people, but as well understanding their personality traits and how does that work in the organization, but as well in the process of sales. So what's the beauty of your background? Tell us more, a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I never wanted really to be in sales.
Okay.
And then I had my first general manager who really gave me, I'm really grateful. He gave me opportunities, and he appointed me when I was 26 as a marketing manager in the automotive business. And it was like, wow, so young girl or so young lady in males business, because other marketing directors or managers were males. And marketing was something okay. It was not like sales, but it was a lot of helping sales to achieve results. After that, I switched to sales because I saw, wow, this is really really something I love. But you get bored and you want to switch, and I switched to other departments and other roles. And in 2001, I fell in love in taxes, which is totally different. Yes, taxes. I was
So you went from the goal and targets to the taxes.
Yeah, Slovenia was entering the European Union, and tax legislation was something which is like the wildest jungle you can ever meet. So I fell in love in taxes, and I was certain I'm gonna be a tax advisor. I did my all the exams at the tax law at law faculty. Um, Everything about taxes was my topic. And then somewhere came one very experienced Slovenian manager, and he said, "Hey, come on, I want you in my team. You are not for this taxes. You have to join my team." And I entered the HR department. So yeah, it was quite a switch. And I really wanted to have different roles in my life because as a CEO, you have to experience everything. You have to know about marketing, you have to know about finance, you have to know about production, you have to know about sales, because you need to ask the right questions and you really want to have the overview of your business. And if you are not slightly into the area and you don't have your own team, then it can go wrong very quickly.
I
So
fully
yeah.
agree. I fully agree. How did, Irena, that experience with taxes and then the experience with HR helped you uh, mold your own career path?
It was easier for me to work in different, from the tax view, it was easier for me to work in different international markets. Tax legislation is really crucial part when you are merging or buying the companies, or if you're entering the new market. If you don't have the right information about taxes, then it can go wrong. But usually it's in the discovery phases which market we are going to go. So the taxes are important before the tax administration comes in, or you get the tax advisor. And the HR, okay, it doesn't have to do with taxes, but you're always working with people. If you are CEO, if you are a salesperson, if you are whatever you are always working with people. And it's even more important when you are when you are working in service industry. I was a long time working in hospitality. You have your employees or your colleagues working for the guests, so you have two sides. On both sides, you don't have machine on one side, you have the people on both sides, and they all have to be satisfied. So it's really a huge responsibility. And knowing the characters or knowing the potentials of people, it can be crucial, because nothing is more costly than having the wrong person in a wrong position.
I absolutely agree. And there is such a strong connection between sales and HR and also other functions in the companies. And I believe that there is the specific dynamic in your character. And I know that's why you collected all the previous experiences, and you not only effectively use them as a sales coach, but as well as a trainer, as business consultant. You are transforming companies, you are working on business strategy, and you are also a certified trainer for Points of View Academy. And all of that must have really have or build a tremendous foundation for you, not to be only a great executive and a manager, but as well a successful business owner, isn't it?
Yeah, luckily it is so. All this, I knew that coaching someday it's gonna be very important. That's why I founded my Spiriton coaching company in 2014. But I was more into sales trainings and strategies that time. But somehow coaching was on my mind, but not one-to-one coaching. It's not I always felt it's not that effective, but team coaching, and I love to work with teams. When you coach one-to-one, then you put this person back to the environment, and it cannot be that effective as when you coach the whole team. Um, and when you are working in sales and with the sales sales organizations or with sales teams, there is always a team, and you have to inspire or you have to, I don't know, execute the strategy. Everyone has to execute the strategy. So for sales, team is foundation. It's not one salesperson, it's not sales manager, it's not vice president of sales, it's the whole team. And all this certification I have is just, they are just my tools how to grow company, in revenues and in profitability. Sometimes we don't even grow the company. Sometimes the revenues are stable or slightly below last year, but we boost the profitability. You know, when I was working in the hotel industry, they were all saying, "Oh, hotel have to be full. Hotel have to be full." No, hotel does not have to be full. Hotel has to be full till the point when there is still profit. Otherwise, when you reach that level, which is over that, then your opportunity cost or variable costs are too high, and you are losing. You are not gaining anymore. And with sales is the same. You know, you can boost sales, you can boost revenues, but on the other side, you can boost the profitability as well. Not engage that many resources which are costly. And here's the topic, you know, sales is all about people. And we are constantly saying, oh, sales has changed so much. Now we are working in hybrid environments. Now we are not traveling that much. Now we are building rapport in a different kind of way. But sales has always been relationships and knowledge and sharing, and
it has always been a teamwork.
Yeah, it was always a human thing. I am buying something because of my feelings, and then I'm rationalizing my decision and trying to find excuses. Why did I buy? Or trying to find the really good topics that this is going to be good for me or my company.
Absolutely. You're satisfying variety of psychological needs. And then the sales jumps in. And yeah, you know what, Irena, I would love to invite everybody who is listening to us to share either their comments and questions here, and we will answer each of one of them, as we always do. So really warmly welcome. If you have a question related to human beings in the field of sales or business management, Irena is the right address for you. So just don't be shy. Ask us a question or share your comment. Irena, you slightly touched the point of that breaking point when the hotel has to be full. And what was the breaking point for you to collect all those corporate business experience and establish your own company called Spiriton? What was the breaking point?
Honestly, this is really a story. I lost hope after working in an international company, which was very competitive, and I lost hope that the business is still being done the way that I wanted to be done. You know, when I started the business, I don't know, working in international business in 1994, when you shook a hand with a German buyer or whatever buyer, we did not need 100 pages of contract. The deal was done. And when somebody said, this is what we agreed, it was on your, I don't know, in your order book or somewhere. And then in this 20, 25 years, 30 years, the business changed so much that I said, I don't want to be part of that kind of business anymore. And I said, hey, it's time for me to start my own business and incorporate the values which I would like to have or which I would like to live with or live on in my own company, because I don't want to support the values which are not my core values. So that's why I stepped out of the corporate and established my own company.
And how exactly do you help with all those experiences and also variety of services you're offering to your clients? Maybe one like really example which somehow pictures the best approach which you use?
Um, I'm all about revenue growth and about revenues and profitability. So there are
Mm-hmm.
the tools. There can be trainings. There can be, I don't know, on-site work. There can be coaching. There can be a team transformation because we do the team interventions as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 55 team transformation professional coach as well. So their team, or if someone is in need of strategy, then we make a strategy. If there is, I don't know, we want to improve customer experience, we did it. We did with Croatian. With international IT company from Croatia, we did series of customer journeys and how to improve the customer satisfaction and how
Mm-hmm.
to be more responsive. So yes, when we do transformations, I'm never alone in a team. I'm part of the team, but I'm responsible for sales, and my other colleagues are responsible for different departments. And the last example we had, it was like we did grow in revenues, but we grew revenues, I don't know, in 20%, but we doubled the profit. And the
Mm-hmm.
profit, but we are not talking about the small profit. Then there is another example when there was, I don't know, 46% more outcome from the production line, because my colleagues are the team I'm working with is really good in lean production optimization. I don't know, logistics, warehousing, which is really really important as well. Not only being focused on sales. My profession is sales, and I'm always but working on a sales part. But when there is a company, the whole team enters, and there is really work on all the crucial areas which need to be covered.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Firstly, the diagnosis part, and then you identify the
Yeah.
opportunities in various segments, and you so lovely explained that you love working with people in teams, coaching, training them in teams, and you're also a big team player because obviously you always work with different experts, different consultants in a team. Is there a project you remember which you really found like hard, but at the end it had great results? So it's more about that great experience. Not exactly to be mentioned by name, but just out from your experience.
There was a project which was my failure, and this is what I would like to point out. I will admit it was my failure because my colleagues asked me, "Come on, work on a project," and I said, "Okay, which area am I going to be covering?" And they said the purchasing department, and I said, "No, I have never dealt with the purchasing department and the optimization of the purchasing and logistics. If there is a sales project, I will take, but this one not." But they were so, we have been in a team a few times or more times, and they were so persuasive. And I said, okay, if you think that I'm really capable of doing this job, but I'm not really sure, then I'm joining the project. But I left the project after 1 month and a half because it really was out of my scope. And I felt it in the beginning, but I entered anyway, and this is something I will never do again. So this was my bad experience, or like, oh, I'm gonna lose my reputation. But I'm putting on everyone's heart, if you are not, I don't know, feeling that you are the right person, then don't take the project. But otherwise, they are. This was the
A good
But
learning.
yeah, this was really a perfect learning. What not to do, please, people, learn from me what not to do. Don't do mistakes on your own because they're too costly. But usually they are tough projects because I don't know. The hardest work is when you have a family company which is becoming so big that they have to transfer into the corporation, or the different kind of that the entrepreneurial spirit is not enough. that they have to set up in a different way. These projects are very tough, especially when there is also a mix of the management which is in two generations, I don't know, father and son, or mother and I don't know, mother, father, and then the son, because there is a tension between the generations, and there is also a tension in different mindsets.
And emotional involvement always, no?
Yeah. Someone, I don't know, being 70 or 72, 73, 74 is thinking differently than someone at 42, 45. And these projects can be challenging, but I don't know. I usually get along with the older generation better and my colleagues with the younger. So we somehow divide our focus and our pressure. And at the end, when they're seeing results, everyone is, I don't know, willing to change whatever it needs. Sometimes the older generation is stepping out. I cherish those people or those business owners who see that they need outside professional help, and they, I don't know, appoint or bring in the CEO or chief operational officer, which is professional, and they are not doing the business they're stepping out of the business or just being in a supervisory board. This kind of people I really admire, because they know what they are capable of.
Exactly. No, that's in a lot of cases really the most challenging, but the most rewarding step for business owners or family
Yeah,
business
it
owners.
can be
They're really
rewarding.
hard,
Yeah,
it's
but
very professional. But it's really hard, I know, because once again, it's every single business is a human business, and if you are emotionally invested with the capital, with the money, and as well with all your family members, of course, it's even more difficult than if you're only employed by a company. But you know what? I would love to connect this topic with what you said at the beginning, and also what's the title of our interview, that sales did change, but actually it didn't. So what do you consider being the most important sales competences? Did they change or stay the same? Did we change as human beings only?
Since sales is people to people, this part has not changed. So I need my competencies, which are being empathetic, building rapport, being good in discovery sessions, asking the right questions, value proposition. This is something which has not changed at all. The change is only the environment. There are different applications, there are automatizations, there are different sales methodologies. I don't know, I'm working sometimes in a company by action selling, which is American method. Then you have a gap selling from Keenan. Then you have Medic. Then you have they ask, you answer method, which is very much for the retail sales. And this methodologies or methods or system have been changing, or now we have a sales funnel, and cold calling is not that much interesting, or it's not that much rewarding, and we have, I don't know, social media, which haven't been in the past. So there is more, I don't know, more platforms, more possibilities to automate, more possibilities to get to grow your sales funnel. But at the end, when you make a phone call, or when you have a meeting, or when you have a video call, this is what the real sales is. Imagine yourself buying a car. A car is a good example. I'm talking now about, I was more referring to B2B sales, because the B2C sales is a bit different topic. But imagine yourself buying a car. You enter the auto salon with, I don't know, 30,000 euros, and you drive out with a car. 36, 40,000 euros. Where the heck did you get this additional 10,000 euros? No, who was that? What was happening in a shop that you changed your mind? So, or that you were willing to increase your budget. And this is the example how people interactions and how people are still very important. Although we have all the media, all the applications, all the tools, all the different systems we can use, the human factor is the same, and we are still making decisions on the same way than that we used to make, you know.
Yeah, the ownership of a process, and as well then the final responsibility for a decision being made, it's always a part of our human I would say actions, but at the end of the day as well, a huge, sometimes also a pressure, but it can also be a great drive or a challenge. So a fuel for somebody to grow and to develop. And I believe it's always like connected also in the process of the sales. Irena, is there like a specific advice you love to share or to give your customers, your clients, or maybe to yourself?
I'm a constant learner. So learn all the way. My sales coach is the vice president of sales with Tony Robinson. So yes.
Wow,
And
yeah.
So I too have a sales coach, you know. I've been coached once a week for last 7 months, maybe. Yes. It's always good to have a coach as well, or it's always good to have someone who is gonna motivate you. That's why never stop learning. That's the one thing. And the second thing is, as the other coach says, money loves speed. When someone in sales is telling, I'm not gonna call the customer today because he needs 3 days to decide.
You're just adding additional day.
Your customer has already been sold to someone else, you know.
Probably. I love that, Irena, because, even though that we work as a coaches, as consultants, I'm always saying and sharing that if you don't invest, or if we don't invest in our own development and learning, why should other people invest in working with us? And it's such a good approach. Really, I know you support that. And I believe that it's also talking to all the people being employed in corporate organizations. Don't just wait for others to be taught or to learn something from them. Be proactive. Really take ownership of your own development. Go for courses, listen to TEDx, hire a masterclass, hire a coach, go for a mentorship, something just to invest in your development, because that's the fuel for growth. And you know what? I know that you are also a visiting professor at the university, and I know that you are a founder of the Women Age to Age International Organization. Yeah, would you love to share a little bit more about it? Because that adds quite to the dynamics of your personality, which I mentioned already. And that's why most probably people love working with you, especially in the field of sales.
You know, the new mantra in sales is, I'm also the one who is recommending it. Be generous, be generous, be generous, be generous. Give to your future buyers as much as you can, because if you're not generous, you are not getting back. Yeah. And my generosity was always towards women, because if someone is saying that there is no glass ceiling, there is still a glass ceiling for women. And I was always wanting to support the women. So that's why I was a Cherry Blair Women Foundation mentor for 2 years. Now I'm alumni. I coached one lady in Croatia and the other one in Vietnam. We were developing the businesses, which are going great now. And then there were some ladies from Bulgaria, and they said, "Oh, we want to have women heart to heart to help other women entrepreneurs." And I said, oh, this is great idea. I'm going to join as well, because I would really like to share. And if there is someone I share, I don't charge, not the first or the second time. But I would really like to be generous. And this is also in sales. If you ask me something, I will tell. I will not hide the information, because it's non
Mhm.
you will get the information anyway. The buyers are getting information on internet. 75% of the information the buyers are getting on internet. There's nothing you can hide. Or
Mhm.
if you are not, I don't know, some agency, or in some other business, when the industrial property is very important and there are business secrets, but otherwise in um, international sales or sales, usual sales, you cannot
Mhm.
hide. So
Yeah.
it's better to share. It's better to build authority, and maybe
Mhm.
you will not sell today, but for sure you will sell tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Especially also in the field of services like coaching, we always talk about intellectual property, but at the end of the day, there is a natural process of development. And I believe it exists with products and with services. You have that form, but what you do with it and how you share it with others, how you market it, how you promote it, how you present it as a person, that makes the whole difference. And at the end of the day, it's
Mm.
really like human to human. And our clients as well, your clients, they buy from you because they know you not only as an expert, as a coach, as a trainer, consultant, but as well as a human being. And
Mm.
energy sells, and what goes around comes around. So to make a long story short, you know what, I'm having that one question before we end our interview. And you know is there a specific advice you could give to all the corporate sales executives out there or sales people out there who usually are our audience as well, about sales, about that really ever changing need of being a good salesperson, but as well ever lasting constant in the sales? Is there a specific advice you would share with them, how to tackle, how to approach the sales, how to be successful in sales in the future,
Okay.
besides
It,
generosity?
it's really simple. You cannot have a high performing team if you don't train them. How many
Mm,
times the football players are training 2 times or 4 times a day? So 2 times a
yeah.
day, in the morning and in the evening. And you cannot expect from your sales team high performance if you are not constantly training or coaching them. I
Mm,
come into companies and I ask, when the sales team was lastly on training, and they said, yeah, we had some team building. No, I'm not talking about the team building. Oh, that was 3 years ago. So you are expecting from people who have been 3 years, um,
mm,
who haven't been 3 years on a training, that they are gonna be high performers? No. So
mm,
invest in team. That's one thing. And the other thing is, even if you have a high performer and he does not have the right attitude, throw it out of the team. You don't need such an attitude in your team, because you want to build the right foundation.
mm. I agree. Just today, it's my personal example, or what happened today. You don't hire for you don't hire for skills, but you hire really for the attitude. And that's really important. And yeah, that's all the success we need at the end of the day. But we always decide every single opportunity we face, either it's the good one at that particular moment or not. And so it is with a company, so it is with organizational transformation and with sales as well, either
Mm.
B2B or B2C. So, Elena, I would really love to thank you. This was so wonderful. A lot of golden nuggets in,
Thank you.
in everything what you were sharing. Thank you very much for being such a great guest, honest one, direct one. So, is there anything you would love to share with the audience? And we might miss it. I might not ask.
No, just be generous.
That's such a great closure. So if you will wait for me in the room, I'd love to have to chat with you
Okay.
afterwards before I say goodbye to the audience. And thanks a lot for being my guest,
Thank
and I
you,
hope
thank
I
you,
see you
thank
soon.
you.
I
Thank you for
sure, I know
having
I
me here.
will. Thanks a lot. Okay, so thank you very much for being here with us, with Irena and with me. I believe that you got the message that it's not only about being human being, but as well being generous. And at the end of the day, as Irena shared, it's like training or playing football. If you want to have a successful team, if you want to be successful, then invest in your learning and your development every single day. Football players, they train twice a day. So why should you train or coach yourself only once per month? It's a challenge. And of course, if you would love to talk to me and to discover how you can enter into the coaching with me, then of course you can book your call, having that complimentary free call, and we will see how I can guide you through your challenges, either in professional life or with your decision making, with the challenges which you are facing. Thanks a lot for being here with me. I appreciate your time, and I believe I'll see you next Monday at 6 p.m. CET with another episode of Executives Corner. Take care and all the best. Good morning, good evening, or have a lovely day wherever you're coming from. Bye-bye.